Have you ever found yourself saying, maybe they'll change? They've had a difficult life. Everyone deserves another chance. This time will be different. And before you know it, you've given one more chance, and then another, and another. If that sounds familiar, this episode is for you. Welcome to Let's Talk. I'm Priti, mental health and wellness coach and hypnotherapist. And today we are talking about something many people experience but don't always recognize: the difference between compassion and self abandonment. Because sometimes what we call love, what we call loyalty, what we call patience is actually a pattern that's always draining our emotional energy. Now, before we begin, I want to say something important. Having one or two narcissistic traits doesn't automatically make someone a narcissist. We all have moments when we can be selfish, defensive, or emotionally immature. Today isn't about diagnosing anyone, for sure. It's about helping you recognize unhealthy relationship patterns and understand how they may be impacting your mental and emotional well being. Let's dive in. Imagine carrying a bucket of water every single day, and every day someone pokes a few more holes into that bucket. You keep filling it, you keep trying harder, you keep giving more. Yet somehow you're always left feeling empty. That's often what happens in relationships where unhealthy, narcissistic patterns exist. You become so focused on fixing the relationship that you stop noticing what it's costing you. Here are a few signs to pay attention to. The first one, they rarely take accountability. Healthy relationships involve repair. People make mistakes, that's normal. But emotionally healthy people can eventually say, I was wrong, I hurt you, I'm sorry. When someone consistently avoids responsibility, blames others, or twists situations to protect themselves, meaningful change becomes very difficult. Because growth starts with accountability. Without accountability, there can be endless promises but very little transformation. The second one, they make you question your reality. Have you ever walked away from a conversation thinking, maybe I'm overreacting? Maybe that didn't happen the way I remember it. Maybe I am the problem. Over time, repeated invalidation can make you distrust your own thoughts, feelings, and intuition. You start looking outside yourself for confirmation instead of trusting what you know deep inside. And that's a painful place to be. Your feelings may not always tell you the full story, but they do deserve to be acknowledged. The third, they expect endless chances. One of the hardest things about unhealthy relationships is that hope keeps us attached. We remember the good moments. We remember who they could be. We remember the potential. So we give another chance, and then another, and another. The issue isn't giving someone a second chance. Definitely not. The issue is when years go by and the pattern stays exactly the same. Words matter, but consistent behavior matters more. The fourth, you're always giving more. Emotionally, mentally, physically, energetically. You are the one initiating conversations, trying to fix problems, making sacrifices, keeping the peace. Meanwhile, your needs slowly move to the bottom of the priority list. Healthy relationships don't require perfect balance every day, but they do require reciprocity over time. You deserve relationships where care flows both ways. The fifth one, you feel emotionally exhausted and guilty. This is one of the biggest signs. You feel drained, you feel anxious, you feel resentful, you feel unseen. Yet somehow, you also feel guilty for wanting space, guilty for setting boundaries, guilty for saying no, guilty for prioritizing your own well being. That's often when people begin questioning themselves instead of questioning the dynamic. And I want you to hear this. Protecting your peace is not selfish. Having boundaries is not selfish. Taking care of your emotional health is not selfish. It's necessary. So here's a gentle reflection. If any of this resonates with you, I invite you to ask yourself, what am I continuing to tolerate that is hurting me? Am I in love with the reality of this relationship or the potential of it? If nothing changed over the next year, would I still choose this? What would protecting my peace look like? Sometimes healing doesn't begin with changing another person, it begins with finally listening to yourself. If today's conversation spoke to you, know that you're not alone. Many people find themselves stuck between hope and heartbreak, between loyalty and self respect. And recognizing the pattern is often the very first step toward healing. If you'd like support navigating relationship dynamics, rebuilding self worth, managing anxiety, or creating healthy boundaries, I'd love to connect with you. You can reach out to me through my social media or send me a message. Sometimes one conversation can provide the clarity you've been searching for. If you enjoyed this episode of Let's Talk, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who may need to hear it. Until next time, take care of your mind, protect your peace, and remember, you don't have to lose yourself while trying to save a relationship. Bye.